I don't know. I'm still in it. I'm still in it.
Mission accomplished.
Seat as though I was like, pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty. Like, was that okay?
But wait, there's more.
The conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title. And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
Hold up.
Hold up.
There's
Stop
several
right now.
there's several conversations.
There's a
about
conversation with you
it. With Harry
about how dark your baby is going to be?
potentially and what that would mean or look like.
Oprah, they're so racist. That's not racist. Because even black people want to know. How brown the baby gonna be?
That conversation I am never going to share.
Ooh, this is uncomfortable.
We'll talk when we get home.
Let's try that again. I'm saying hello to people. I forgot. I don't want it to be so loud and hear all this clanging in here because it's like a 3-minute intro. Oh, my bad. Okay, it's Eclectic Life. Hello, Eclectic. And hello, Liz, Joni, Nadine, Wendy. Anyone else I missed? Liz. Oh, hello. Nemosine. I think. I don't know. Did I slaughter that? Nemosine? Nemosine? Nemosine. It probably means something that I don't even know. Because y'all are smarter than me. Nadine, Eclectic Life, Wendy. I think I'm caught up. Yay! I got it? It's the river of memory? I should write that down. Oh, your mother with Alzheimer's, bless her heart. My grandmother had Alzheimer's. Nemosine. I'm going to figure out, is it long E or short E? Nemosine or Nemosine? Now I'm curious. That I learned a new word today. Oh, speaking of which, a little piece of paper that we will continue to add words. Actually, this is a river of memory. So last week we learned mendacity, rapprochement, and commoditized. Ugh. All right. Long E. Thank you. Nemosine. All right. Transit it is. Let's learn about them hightailing it out of London and into Vancouver. All right. Transit. Isolation on Vancouver Island increased the Sussex's sense of outrage. It's great. This is the first sentence. They get out of London. She gets exactly what she wants. They go to a remote island off the coast of Canada, Vancouver Island, very swanky, living in a castle. Not happy. They were isolated there. Is that because of COVID? Did they start going in the end of the last chapter? No, they just agreed not to show up for Christmas and said they were not going to be there. The Queen decided to focus on Brand Cambridge at the end of last chapter. There's a whole mess with Andrew and how poor Queen was trying to make heads or tails of the mess with Andrew and at the same time the mess with Harry now. All right. So they were applying for all these trademarks. Everyone saw the writing was on the wall. And then for Christmas, they decided to, just take a short little 6-week trip to Vancouver Island. All right. So that's where they are. Isolation on Vancouver Island increased. So this isn't yet COVID. This is just the first time they went to Vancouver Island for 6 weeks. When you think that they would just be in their glory, but apparently not. They had a sense of outrage. Listening to Harry's discussions with his family and officials in Britain, Meghan was furious that they were not accepted on their own terms. Oh, this is why they're furious. They're furious because they just have each other to fuel off of. Okay. Because they had stipulations on exactly how the royal family was going to handle the fact that they were going to pick up and leave, live in another country, and the royal family and the people of Britain were going to pay for it all. It's not going her way. Rather, they were being bullied, pillared, and abused. Although hounded by the media and exploited by the palace, they were left unprotected. Abandoned was the sentiment Meghan soon adopted. The negotiations for their departure, she decided, would not be discreet. Ooh. The encouragement from her Los Angeles advisors was intoxicating. The Sussex brand, Meghan was assured, offered the same global opportunities as those reaped by the Obamas. They could exploit their royal status in films, books, finance, and the digital world. Did the Obamas do that? Did they exploit everything after they left office? I don't remember that, if they did. By endorsing a major consumer corporation, the Sussexes would earn tens of millions of dollars. Their first step should be a major interview. Oprah Winfrey was waiting. Together with Harry, Meghan intended to broadcast her frustration about the royals' crusty conservatism. It offered her can-do culture and the American dream. In the propaganda battle, Meghan expected Hollywood to defeat the Windsors. Oh, it's so funny. I'm the American rooting for the British here. Come on, Windsors. Take down Hollywood. Anybody can take down Hollywood. Most of America would be happy with that. Her publicists had produced an artful video to be shown in the Sussex Royal website after the divorce was announced. Highlighting their lives during 2019, the couple thanked their 10.8 million followers for their continuing support and assured them that they would be collaborating with the Queen by pursuing a progressive agenda. At the same time, the Sussexes also composed their proposed public statement announcing their departure from Britain. Harry believed that his family would accept their demands. Oh, Harry's stupid. Boy, we are learning more and more, not so bright. But I have to say, this author keeps pointing out she has 10.8 million followers, which, I mean, is a lot to most people, but I think in the circles of royalty, not so great. I think that's why he keeps punching it. He's a little humorous. All right. So Harry believed that his family would accept their demands. All right. After several telephone calls with Charles, Harry was told to send his proposals in writing. Harry's message with their proposed statement broadly described the Sussexes' expectation to retain their titles, privileges, and income while living in Canada. They wanted it all. They asked for it all. They wanted their title, they wanted all privileges, and they wanted all their income. But they were going to pick up and leave and go to Canada. They would keep Frogmore. Oh, and they get to keep the 10-room place that they renovated. Frogmore, yes, Frogmore Cottage. Not cottage. Is it Frogmore Cottage? Yes, the other one was a different cottage. Nottingham College is where cottage was where they first lived. So Frogmore Cottage, yes. So in addition to that, they got to keep the home. I don't know how many bedrooms it ended up being because she gutted it out and redid it. The very nice, what is it? How many thousand square feet was it? It's big. It used to be quarters for multiple staff on the grounds. And all the staff were asked to leave, I guess. I don't know how that worked, but Harry and Meghan took it over. Okay, so they get that too. Okay. Also, enjoy round-the-clock protection costing the British taxpayer annually about $2.5 million. And continue to receive 1.5 million annual income from the Duchy of Cornwall. Wow. They both have balls, Harry and Meghan, that they agreed that they were going to put that in writing. What are they going to do? That's next. Here it goes. It says, in exchange, they will occasionally return to Britain, but otherwise represent the monarchy from Canada. Some would later suggest that Harry's proposal had been approved by Christopher Geit. I've forgotten who he was already. Charles. We have a new word alert, prevaricated. Prevaricated. Prevar. Oops, I forgot the R. ICATD. Okay, never heard of it. Means lied? Thank you, Joni. I appreciate all of you. Why doesn't he just write the word lied? Why do we have to go through this every week? Okay, thank you. Because I'll never use that word to mean the word lied, ever. Now, if I were Cody Brown, I'd bring it up 3 times in the next episode. My brain lives in Nemocene, unfortunately. But we're working on it. Okay. He replied, more information. Harry, wait, that doesn't make sense. Charles lied. He replied, more information. No, it means something else, too. It has to have another definition as well. Harry appealed to the Queen. The Queen told her grandson that he should negotiate agreement with his father. Although the monarch was deeply attached to Harry, her grandson's telephone calls to her and Charles and William about his future plans had unintentionally bound the 3 of them together. They were forging a united front against the Sussexes. Bum, bum, bum. When things don't go your way. Just after Christmas, Harry's frustration increased. How's that even possible? It started off saying he was in a sense of outrage. He's beyond that now, apparently. He heard that Dan Wooten, the Sun's royal expert, I watch him on YouTube. I get some of my royal news from him, had been told about their secret plans to leave Britain. He's not a Harry and Meghan fan, though, I have to say. It's not my only source, but it pops up. I think I've watched enough of them that they pop up. I'm not subscribed, but I see them every now and then. The leak to Wooten convinced Harry of a conspiracy to destroy himself and Meghan. Harry demanded that Buckingham Palace take draconian action against the Sun. He was spurned. The palace limited itself to simply denying to the newspaper that the Sussexes intended to leave Britain. So the palace just took the stance of, not true, they're staying here. Obsessed about malicious forces in London, Harry was convinced that those in the palace leaking his secrets were intended on destroying his marriage and himself. Oh no, Meghan will do that for you. He could not imagine that Wutan's source might be one of the Sussex's many advisors in Los Angeles and Canada. Oh, Harry's and Meghan's team was leaking the information and Harry didn't know about it. Harry's only relief was that the scoop remained unpublished. Wutan was on holiday in New Zealand and unable to pursue the Sun's editor to ignore the palace's denials. So Wutan reported before he left for New Zealand, I guess, that the palace denied the fact that Harry and Meghan were leaving. And then he took on vacation, and Harry was mad because he wanted Wutan, Mr. Dan, to recant that statement that the palace said they weren't going to go. Nadine says Meghan was a leader. She still leaks everything. Yes. All right. Absolutely. The irony of this, we might not get through half the chapter. We might get through a third of it. This might take us 3 weeks to get through this chapter. But the irony of this whole thing is that Harry's frustration escalates to the point that he gets really upset with everybody at the royal family, which then bonds together Charles and William and the Queen. And so they're a united front now in the decision to, well, at this point, just say it's not true, they're staying here. But eventually it'll be to not agree to the demands and just let them go off on their own. I mean, to this day, Harry's continuing to go back and beg for more money and said the whole thing's unfair and that the royal family should be paying for all of his security. Okay. And the whole time, Meghan's team is the one that was doing it. So Meghan's team was making choices that was causing the palace to bond together and unite in force against Harry and Meghan because she's so dumb. And he's so dumb, he didn't know what her team was doing. Oh my. These two are a hot mess, aren't they? Okay. Harry and Meghan landed in Heathrow on the 6th of January, 2020. A cloudy, cold day. Archie had been left in Vancouver, never to step foot on British soil ever again. But he needs to keep his title. So important. They will bitch and moan and complain over the fact that they're trying to strip him. They kept saying he gets stripped of his title. He still has his title. He still has his title as of today. Anyway, he still has his title. But that was a complaint that she'll do in the Oprah interview. I wonder if they cover that in here. Okay. Harry planned to drive directly to Sandringham for dinner with the Queen. To his dismay, he was told that the engagement was canceled. He telephoned the Queen and asked for another date that week. She replied that her diary was full. Transferred to Edward Young, the Queen's private secretary, Harry disclosed that the solution to his reoccurring mental problems was to announce immediately their departure from Britain. He's having reoccurring mental problems? So he had to leave the country? That's what he told them? I mean, okay. Young asked Harry not to annoy the Queen by issuing his public statement before they met. At the end of the conversation, Harry believed that the Queen was receiving really bad advice. The following night, The Sun published Wutan's exclusive. The couple, Wutan wrote, planned to step back and live trouble-free in Canada alongside Meghan's many friends. I don't know how many she still had at this point. How many did she invite to the wedding? One? And that's just because she needed to have a brood of little kids behind her. So her one friend had two. So I'm like, okay, well, we've got Princess Catherine's and we have those two. And can we scrounge up any other ones? Anyone? Because I'm not talking to anybody in my family now. That's why that happened. So that the photo can look like Princess Diana's photo with all the little kids. And helped by Sunshine Sachs, they intended to launch the Sussex Royal Foundation. Do they pronounce it Royale or Royal? Probably Royal. The revelation dramatized the Sussexes' visit that morning, the 8th of January, to Canada House to say thank you to the High Commissioner, Janice something, for providing sanctuary and protection. Their appearance was an excuse to provide a photo opportunity as they emerged into the Trafalgar Square for their electrifying announcement. I don't remember the announcement. Harry and Meghan did a public announcement that they were leaving? Gosh, I should have to look that up online. By the way, everybody, if you stick around to the very end, I made an outro video. Convinced of the palace's plans to sabotage them, the couple decided to jump the gun. Despite the imminent negotiations with the Queen, their office issued their statement on the Sussex Royal Instagram website. They would be stepping back. Yeah, this is how they announced it on Instagram. She's such a child. I'll post it on my Instagram. They would be stepping back as full-time senior royals. They planned to carve out a progressive new role within this institution and to balance our time between the United Kingdom and North America, continuing to honor our duty to the Queen, the Commonwealth, and our patronages. Not to, I don't know how she's committing herself to the Commonwealth when she's dividing her time between North America. North America? You mean Canada? America is not part of North America. You're not doing any of your duties here in the United States of America. So that's just a lie. It's just Canada. But that's interesting how she worded it that way. Balance our time between North America and England. They never went back to England or the UK. They didn't even announce they were going to make any plans to represent any of the other countries. I mean, originally, the Queen thought it'd be great for them to go to Africa. Harry loves Africa. Meghan just recently found out that she's from a aunt or somebody. She has some sort of lineage in Africa that she talked about. Like, it seems the perfect place for them to be. I bet Harry really just went down fighting, but gave up when it came to where they were going to go. Because what does he want to go to Canada for? Go to Africa? Just weather-wise. Why go to Canada when you can be in Africa? Okay. All right. So we're going to balance our time between the United Kingdom and North America, i.e. Hollywood, which has nothing to do with the Commonwealth, but we still want all your money to do it. The geographic balance will enable, is this still part of the quote? Oh God, this was a long quote. This was a quote on their Instagram. They wrote a book. The geographic balance will enable us to raise our son with an appreciation for the royal tradition into which he was born, while also providing our family with the space to focus on the next chapter, including the launch of our new charitable entity. What's that? I haven't seen her do one charitable thing. She's just collecting fake awards from companies that are creating award shows that nobody's heard of. We look forward to sharing the full details of this exciting next step in due course. Due course. Their statement was read by the world as intended, a deliberate challenge to the royal family. So I guess at that time, I don't remember at that time, like what was all going down. I just like heard about it and passing on the news because like, I'm like, oh, okay, it didn't work out. Again, we're in America. It's interesting. But nobody knew who Meghan was before this. So it's not like we had this vested interest and are all behind Meghan. I mean, I was at first because I thought the whole idea of it was really kind of cool. But once she became a pain in everyone's butt, I was like, whatever. Their promise of collaboration in a progressive future was, many thought, an insult to the Queen. Mentioning North America was intended to persuade the public that the family would live permanently in Canada, not least because Meghan had earlier pledged that she would stay out of the United States of America till after Trump was gone. I don't remember that either. I mean, everybody says that. How many people have said that? And they're all still here. The only one that's left is Rosie O'Donnell. She's in Ireland, I think. Other than that, the 99,000 people who are like, if he becomes president, I'm leaving. They're all still here. Meghan included. Liars, all just trying to get attention. The saga, now dubbed Megxit, gripped the nation. I do love the fact that it's called Megxit, and I get the Brexit and everything, but the fact that there's no Harry in the name of it implies that this was Meghan's doing, which, I mean, I know it's the two of them together, but she certainly is the one in control. So I just love that the word implies this is all Meghan's doing, whether it was or it wasn't. It's kind of funny. I wonder if that bothers her, the Megxit word. The saga, now dubbed Megxit, gripped the nation. Meghan, once again in control, not for long, booked her return to Vancouver the next day. The royal family, she assumed, was blindsided. Critics blamed Meghan for taking Harry hostage and rupturing his relationship with the Queen. Others suggested that the Windsor soap opera had been reinvigorated. William was upset. Charles was exasperated. Buckingham Palace's terse acknowledgement of the Instagram post concluded with a request for time. Harry waited for the summons. Megxit, Harry later claimed, was a term of misogynistic abuse invented by pirates with press cards. What? That's a line totally written by Meghan. Meghan stayed up at night. She spent 3.5 hours looking through thesaurus and dictionaries, looking up past interviews that people have done and when they left places, and just put it all together. And this is what she came up with and told Harry to say. Megxit was a term of misogynistic abuse. Invented by pirates with press cards. So the press made it up. Well, yeah. No, why is he calling them pirates? What are they taking? Pirates pillage and take what's not theirs. No, the press reports what they see. I don't know. I mean, I guess Harry doesn't like it when they report about him, so he feels like he's being taken from, exposed maybe. I don't know. But he didn't put that sentence together by himself. In anticipation of the showdown, the Queen, Charles and William, and their senior advisors agreed that while they wanted to avoid appearing vengeful, British taxpayers would resent subsidizing the Sussexes if they avoided serious duties. Who wouldn't? Even a parent would pause. I'm trying to think, what would I do? I don't like subsidize my kids' lives, so they kind of like do their own thing, but I'm trying to think. I mean, if somebody like wants to pick up and leave and do their own thing and completely go, but it's like, but keep giving me money. I don't know why this would be a surprise to Harry or Meghan. Boy, they really thought that, oh, the press took his mom. That's why, oh, okay. Nemosine said the press took his mom, so that is why he considers them pirates. Okay. Yes. Joni said, I'd live in their estate in a heartbeat. I mean, sign me up. Wendy said, this poor innocent Harry idea hits different after you've seen him dressed as a Nazi for fun. Truth. Okay. In anticipation of the showdown, the Queen, Charles, and William and their senior advisors agreed that while they wanted to avoid appearing vengeful, British taxpayers would resent subsidizing the Sussexes if they avoided serious duties. Okay. They were also puzzled by why a progressive royal would want the title Her Royal Highness. Progressives, after all, were committed to changing an unequal society. She is a life of contradictions. She is. She's like, I'm independent. I'm all this. And then she wants to do a show where she's like Susie Homemaker in the home talking about how she spends 3 hours to just cut up vegetables and fruits for her kids in the morning and everything. Like she's little miss. I'm the little homemaker here for my husband and kids, which is great. Not against it. But I always had side jobs, but I always worked from home. So I can relate to the idea of being around all the time, but she's not around all the time. But that's just it. She goes gallivanting here, there, and everywhere, leaves the kids behind. The kids are never with her, ever. But then she portrays this thing of like, oh, and then every day before they go to school. I'm like, how would you know every day before they go to school what happens? That's so good. I heard that there's another. I've got to look up and see some of these more recent. I've seen that South Park episode, the privacy tour one's so good. But I heard that there was one that dealt with, there was a scene I actually saw, but I never saw the whole episode, and I can't find it anywhere, that covered the pregnancy belly that she was dancing with, that belly that she was flipping up and down. And then just more recently, what's the more recent one that I saw? Like that, oh, she's really upset because South Park did this scene. It was something that just recently happened. And I'm like, oh, they got that out really quick. Unless somebody's making cartoons that look just like South Park and saying that they came out. I don't know. All right, I'll have to look into that. If anyone knows, you can share any links you can find. Or tell me what channel I can find it on. I mean, I know it's on Comedy Central, but I can't find it on Comedy Central. Like, not the new ones. Okay. All right. Progressives, after all, are committed to changing an unequal society. So why would she want this title? Frivolity aside, they agreed that the monarchy could not risk the Sussexes' uncontrolled exploitation of their privileges and titles. That's a good point. The monarchy could not risk the Sussexes' uncontrolled exploitation of their privileges and titles. They would totally take advantage of their title and privilege. And we saw that. They were told, HRH, gone. Can't use it. Meghan still used it. Even after that they were upset if they would have kept them. They thought that they would be inappropriately used. So HRH was removed, and guess what? She's still using it. Their concern lay in one particular phrase: the Sussex's intention to work to become financially independent in Canada. Now, where's that phrase from, though? Their one concern lay in the particular. So it must have been in their Instagram statement must have been even longer. I don't remember reading that. Okay. Money, they knew, was at the heart of Meghan's thoughts. And it seemed that she intended to monetize the monarchy. Yes. Yes, she is. She has a crown as part of her logo by her name. I mean, the whole thing. She spent less than 2 years. She spent more time back on American soil than she ever did when she was on UK soil. And she still wants to call herself Her Royal Highness. She still wants all the rights and privileges and everything that comes with it. I mean, she really thought that she could just dip her toe in for a second and then come up with an excuse to get out of there, but would be completely subsidized the rest of her life, because that's what the monarchy would do for people, continue to subsidize. But I mean, I guess I'd have to go back and look, like, at how much money was given when Wallace Simpson married Prince. I want to say his name was Andrew too, but I'm not certain. The Queen's uncle. Does anyone know what happened? Like, were they kicked out completely? Or were they like given a home that they could stay in? Were they given any money? Did they have to work? All right. Oh, that's it, Joni. That's what I saw. Someone did a South Lake Park video of her in Paris. Okay. So that's what people are doing. So probably the whole baby bump, moving that stomach up and down thing that she was doing in the hospital room. How she got into a hospital room to do this, I don't know. But that may have been not really South Park, and that's why I can't find it. That would make sense. Okay. Looking through the Sussex royal filings in Delaware, again, she filed in Delaware. Officials were aghast that the couple intended to peddle pens and clothing under the Sussex royal logo. Although Harry had inherited about 27 million pounds, not nearly enough for Miss Meghan, from Diana and his grandmother. And Meghan had probably saved over £1 million from her career. Maybe. I think she blows through money. I mean, although she just tried to get everything subsidized. She tries to snuggle up to everybody who's wealthy and then ask all kinds of people if she can get on their private jet. We now know that she asked Amal Clooney if she could ride on her private jet to go to her baby shower. We know that she asked Hillary Clinton if she could get on her private jet to go back from London to America after. What would that have been after? I don't remember. Do you guys remember that? Well, we read that in here. Like, she just keeps asking, can I go on your private plane? Tyler Perry, she asked to get on his private plane to get from Canada to Los Angeles, and asked to use his mansion for an undisclosed period of time. Joni said she's just like Fergie. I'm hearing that more and more now. I don't know much about Fergie. I really never followed that. Well, I must have been in college or something at the time. Because in college, I don't think I watched television, but I could count on one hand how many times. There just weren't televisions around. And of course, we didn't have cell phones. There was no social media or anything. So I was out of the loop for 4 years. Okay. Those were the simple days. Okay, so Harry had inherited 27 million pounds, which I believe is more in dollars, right? Isn't the dollar a little bit higher than the pound? I think so. Okay. And they assumed that Meghan had over $1 million. That would not be sufficient to sustain their lives once they lost the palace's financial support. Who can live on 28 million pounds? Impossible. Has anyone heard of the stock market? No, they're dumb. They're too dumb. Few in the palace had forgotten the scandals involving the Countess of Wessex, Prince Andrew, and his wife, Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York. All right, I don't know who the Countess of Wessex is, so all of our British people here, do put in the chat, a pound is more than the US dollar. Okay, so it's less than 20. Okay, so tell me 28 million pounds is equal to how many dollars? Boy, the value of the American dollar has gone down. Oh, no, I guess it's gone up. If $1 gets you... Oh, yeah, it's gone down. 1 pound is $1.40. 36 million. Oh, so it is more. 28 million pounds is $36 million. I mean, pennies. How can one survive? I don't know who the Countess of Wessex is, so if anyone knows, write it down. Because there's a scandal involving the Countess of Wessex. But we do remember the scandal with Andrew and Sarah Ferguson. Okay, successful negotiations with Harry depended on striking a balance between keeping the Sussexes loyal and preventing them from leeching off the British taxpayer. I wonder if he realized that while he was in negotiations, or he just kept asking for everything. All right. So he needed to obviously come up with the balance of how to be loyal to the throne, but not appear as if he's leeching off the British taxpayer. Well, unless he's a full-time working royal, there's no way he's going to come off not looking like he is leeching off the British taxpayer. Okay. All right. Always American Annie says it's because of our national debt. Oh, our national debt is just like out of control. Like there's no reining it in at this point. Now it's like just going to be part of history or part of life till everything comes crashing down. It's just a hot mess. Okay. Well, the options to Harry were not attractive because his choice is he gets everything and then some. Either Meghan could be allowed to keep the privileges without the responsibilities, or her title could be outrightly removed. The latter option risked exciting those who were convinced that Meghan was a victim of racism, misogyny, and class prejudice. Class prejudice? How is she a victim of class prejudice? This is a new one. It's like every 5 chapters, we had another thing that she's a victim of. Now it's class prejudice. The girl whose dad was an Academy Award winner for lighting design, who worked on one of the most popular sitcoms for years. They had money. If anyone has class prejudice, it's the fact that she had so much money. Is it like compared to the royals, or is this just another one of her stories about how she never had anything? You know, like we had to eat salads because we couldn't afford anything. Somebody looked it up, and those salads back then were like $18 a salad. Whatever place. She's like, we had to eat a salad after school. Oh, Sophie, Edward's wife, is the Duchess of Wessex. Oh, you don't know any scandal affiliated with her. Maybe just that she wasn't royal, right? Because she wasn't royal when she came into the family. And I know she's completely embraced now, just like Catherine is, but she would have been the first, right? No, wait. Sophie, Edward's wife. I'm thinking of the gal whose husband wasn't royal. I thought that was Sophie and Edward. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'll keep reading. I'm sorry. Okay. Yes. Always American Annie says that Meghan's father spent over $500,000 on her education. Class prejudice. All right. All right. So going back over that one more time, the options were not attractive. Either Meghan could be allowed to keep the privileges. Does keeping the privileges mean keep the money? I'm not sure, or if it's just privileges without the responsibilities. Why would you want the privilege without the responsibility is a positive thing? Of course, she would say, yeah, I'll do that. I'll take the, that's where I'm confused on this sentence. She could either be allowed to keep the privileges without the responsibilities, or her title could be outrightly removed. Well, she's going to say, I'll keep all the privileges with no responsibilities. I don't understand why that doesn't make sense to me, but I'll move on. The latter option, which is having the title outrightly removed, risked exciting those who were convinced that Meghan was a victim of race. Okay. So if she had her title removed, she was going to scream racism and class prejudice and misogyny. Okay. Harry was always going to remain a prince. So a compromise had to be agreed upon. On the 13th of January, Harry was finally driven to Norfolk. Just before he arrived, Prince Philip headed to Wood Farm, his home on the estate. Harry's request that Meghan take part in the discussions by Zoom was rejected. The palace assumed Meghan would allow others to listen, and their discussions would be recorded. A smart woman, that queen. That's right. You get your butt over here. You want to sit here and negotiate for the rest of your life and see how much money you're going to get out of us, and you want to do it on Zoom because you're too lazy to come over here? Yeah. Those waiting for Harry in Sandringham, Charles, William, and their advisors, Edward Young, Clive Alderton, Simon Case, and Fiona McWilliam, assumed that Harry and Meghan would be prepared to agree to concessions. They also believed that Meghan controlled Harry. In reality, he shared Meghan's uncompromising demands. Over lunch, Harry intended to persuade the Queen that they could serve the monarchy in a semi-detached manner from Canada. For his part, Harry did not realize that he would be met by an ultimatum. This is good. This is good. All right, we're right at the point we're going to stop, so this is good. We have, like 8 minutes left? Okay. For his part, Harry did not realize that he would be met by an ultimatum. Half in, half out, he was informed, was impossible. He worked for the monarchy, he was blatantly told. The monarchy didn't exist to work for him. Woo! This is good. Once he was out, financial support would be quickly reduced. Reduced. Fine. Oh, they do not know how to negotiate, these two. It can be reduced. I'd be like, all right, reduce it. Once he was out, financial support would be quickly reduced, honorary titles would be removed, and the Sussex's duties sharply reduced. I mean, that sounds like a great deal for Meghan. The honorary titles being removed is the part that she was probably the sticking point for her. Well, probably the reduction on money too, but my goodness, how much were they giving them? So they already have 28 million pounds. And on top of that 28 million pounds, They wanted Frogmore Cottage to continue to be theirs as long as they live, I guess, and then eventually go to their kids. Round the clock protection, security protection, at the tune of $2.5 million every year for the rest of their lives. Okay. And a 1.5 million annual income. That's all. So if they offer to just reduce it a little bit, like, oh, do you think you could maybe live on a little bit less since you're not doing anything for us? You're not even living over here. And they stuck their nose up at it. Boy, did Meghan screw that one up. Even if they gave him half, she could have put that in the stock market and it would all come back and then even double. Like she could make, with a smart advisor, she could have done well. She could have done well. Excuse me. Okay. Moreover, they would not be allowed to accept payments as brand ambassadors for corporations. Oh, they knew Meghan's language. They knew what she was going to try to do. Use her whole royal title to make money. Police protection would also be withdrawn. Harry would subsequently claim that he had offered personally to pay for police protection. Oh. That is cited in the citations of 672 and 673 in the back with all the citations. So because I am curious. I'm like, oh, when did he make that claim? All right. We're going to end it right there because that's a really good spot to. The first sentence of the next paragraph, where we're going to start off next week, is surprised by his family's hard line, Harry concluded that their terms amounted to punishment. I'm a victim. All right. So good. Nutmeg. That's hysterical. Nutmeg. I love it. Not a businesswoman. Her failed month. Yes. Yes. I like Sophie too. She made some mistakes at first, but they were honest mistakes, and the queen seemed close to her. Yeah, they did seem close. I don't know what mistakes she made. This keeps getting better. I know. Oh, here we go. Sweet Sophie was tricked because she was so trusting. Meghan is vicious and conniving. Yeah, very different. Very different. She stepped away from her PR firm to concentrate on royal duties. Okay. Oh, this is the wife of Charles's brother, right? That's who this is. Okay, not Andrew, but another one, the youngest, right? Oh no, I thought Andrew was the youngest. No, Andrew was a spare. Okay. But what's the actual scandal? Okay, here we go. Sophie was involved in a major scandal in 2001 when an undercover reporter posing as a wealthy sheik secretly recorded her making indiscreet and critical comments about the royal family. Okay. All right. So somebody was pretending like they had a wireless mic. You know, I don't think in America you're allowed to do that. I think you have to have like a literal police, like everything is inadmissible. And I think it's like a violation of your privacy in America to do some of the stuff that you can get away with. Tapping phones, you're not allowed to tap a phone. It's illegal. But I think they do it all the time over there. Is it not illegal over there, or do they just look the other way? I don't know. Okay, but I got to get going. I got to get to my other stream. But this was a lot of fun. Thanks for being here with me, fellow queens, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Oh, and here's our out. Let's start that over. There we go.
myself a cry. Yeah. Oh, I can do that so well. Oh my god, it's crazy. You're like, Megan, 1 tear, left eye, go. Give me 3 seconds.
With a camera trained in front of her, crying. 1 tear, left eye, go.